Hey guys, Ken here with Hobby Harvest. So I'm going to redesign my half-acre southeastern Wisconsin food plot this year, and I wanted to show you guys the strategy behind what I'm doing. So last year, this was a first-year food plot, and it was a former paintball field. So there was a lot of debris out there, a lot of pallets, a lot of construction materials, a whole lot of nails. We actually picked up an entire 5-gallon bucket of nails with the magnet sweeper out there. So the reason why I used this sort of odd shape was twofold. One, I wanted to get all of the debris cleaned up out there, and this is the area that all of that debris was. Secondly, with it being a first-year food plot, I didn't know how big it had to be so that the deer would not graze it down to nothing. I had no idea of how much grazing pressure it was going to get from the deer. There's a lot of ag in the area, and actually this half acre was more than enough. I did not need it to be this big. So this gives me the opportunity this year to redesign it to be more advantageous to me. First, I'll explain what I have going on here, and then I'm going to explain to you what I'm going to do. So first off, my hunter access comes in here to a stand. These green things are all trees here that occupy the border of the food plot. And then this blue is switchgrass. Now, a lot of the switchgrass did come up the first year, but where I needed it the most, right in here, it didn't come up because we had a horrible drought last year and just not ideal conditions to try to get switchgrass growing. So I already frost seeded more switchgrass into these bare spots, and I'm hoping that this year it comes up and I start to get that really impressive stand of screening going on, especially right here where I need it the most. So kind of have this weird shape. So I'll show you where the deer come in. The deer access in through here, and then there's a deer trail beat right through the middle of this food plot, and then they exit out over here. These are also access points for them. There's travel corridors that lead in there. But what I want to do is I want to push the plot out a little here so that it forces them to come closer to me so that I have an easier shot with a bow as they travel through the food plot. So what I'm going to do is make this food plot into more of a kidney shape like this, and I'm actually going to extend it out into here a little bit. And so what this shape is going to do for me is right here, it's going to force the deer closer to the stand as they move through the food plot. And what it's also going to do is that if a buck comes out and he's standing right here, he can't see this corner of the food plot, so he's going to have to walk out to here, right where I'm going to have a shot on him, so that he can check this corner to make sure there's no does there that he wants to check out. So this is going to make me have to create some cover in here in order to make this a blind spot. So something I'm going to try this year is I'm going to try to get some box elders to start growing in here, because that when they're very short and very young, they create such a dense, thick cover, and deer love to browse on them as well. But I'll probably also fill this in with whatever else I can to try to force this to be a blind spot so that the deer can't see around that corner. Now that's also going to leave me these other corners here, and I was debating on just planting corn in those. So especially since this switchgrass isn't as full and lush as it could be, I was thinking of throwing some corn in here to create edge, but also give cover and screening to the food plot while that switchgrass gets established. And in this corner, I was debating on just putting in like a pollinator blend or whatever, or maybe just leave it as part of the food plot, because it's not the end of the world if this kind of has like an oblong shape over there. But my biggest thing I'm going to need to work on is really creating cover in here and getting this so that it's this perfect kidney shape or boomerang shape in order to get it to work perfectly for me. That's the plan. I hope it works. I hope I showed you guys kind of the strategy of maybe you have something similar like this and this helps out for you. So if you guys feel like you got value from this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next one.